We're going to record it. All right, so here's the point of today's call, okay? Here's the point of this training. There's a lot of talks with me and my boss about consistency in Salesforce and making sure that, like, let's talk about pipeline, for example. Dave, you had when you inherited this pipeline, you had like $600,000 in MQL pipeline. Someone in Seattle that doesn't know Dave, doesn't know that you were moving, doesn't know your real life, looks at that and says, holy crap, what's Dave doing every day, right? You guys probably all have a different place that you put stuff. And I've learned that in talking to you and talking to other teams about where you put a note after you make a phone call. You guys sent me an email about when do you move it from MQL to SQL? How many times should I call an MQL before I pitch it back over to the SDR or the ADR? You guys are, and I know that there was jokes about what's this training all about, and I already know Salesforce. This has nothing to do with your ability or inability to log into Salesforce and put a task in there. I know you know how to do that, but we got to get on the same page. So when my boss calls me and says, why does Dave have $600,000 in MQL and nothing's been touched since September, that I'm prepared to defend Dave to the hill. You with me? Does that make sense?
Yep.
That's the purpose of this training. The purpose of this training is to where we're going to agree as a group where we put a note when we finish with a call. And we're all going to do it the same way.
Okay.
We're all going to agree that it's going to take this many phone calls or this many emails or whatever to move it on from MQL to SQL or to move it back to an ADR or to do whatever we're going to do. We're going to agree as a team where we're going to put stuff in Salesforce, and we're all going to do it the same way.
So this is subject to debate, and we're basically establishing a team policy during this call?
Yep.
That's great.
Okay? This is not you guys know that. I don't ever run a dictatorship.
Yeah.
It's not my way or the highway. That's not the way this team needs to run. This team needs to run that we all come to an agreement that this is where we're going to put stuff. That way, when I go into any op, whether it's your op, Jerry's op, Cleet's op, Cleet lives literally 3,000 miles away from me. But we should be able to look at Cleet's pipeline and know exactly when he had his last phone call, exactly where we're at on the notes, all the stuff. Because the feedback I'm getting from my boss is that when she logs into Salesforce to look at a deal, she has no idea where to go find it. And she has no idea to go look at the discount that's 80% off because of the following reasons. She has no way to go back in and look at an account. Like, Dave, you inherited a pipeline. Cleet and Nick has inherited API pipeline. How easy has it been for you to run through those ops and find out what's going on?
Time consuming.
Right? Because it's all over the place.
Yeah.
So as our group, our team, we're going to decide to do all the same. Fair?
Yeah.
Everybody go with that?
What I inherited was small. It took me a lot of time, so I can only imagine.
So we're not going to do that moving forward. Okay? I'm going to give you what I think it should be. Again, it's not a dictatorship. If you disagree or you want to have a discussion, we've got an hour to figure it out. Everybody cool with that?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we'll start at the very beginning. Okay? When you get an op. Okay? You're going to get an op through Chili Piper or through something, and you're good. I don't do Chili Piper, okay, guys? I haven't used it one time. So I need a little bit of help from you. When you get a Chili Piper op, what happens?
You get an email.
No.
From who?
From them.
From Chili Piper.
So you get an email before the op is actually created.
Okay.
There's not an op at the time that you receive a notification, but it should be simultaneous calendar event and notification via email that someone from that team spoke to someone. There's a 15-minute call that's been scheduled. Supposedly within that, there should be a separate video conference link as well.
Okay.
Some issues with that. Mine doesn't have it. I didn't fix that because I don't want to use it.
So let's talk about that for a second. So Clete, what he's talking about is I sent an email on a Friday. Charles Dameron called me, just beside himself.
Wait, hey, be careful. Be careful, I'm here, so don't talk bad about me.
I'm not. I'm being very honest. You called me beside yourself because you got 3 Chili Piper ops and you didn't have the GoToMeeting link. And just so we're all clear,
right.
I'd have lost my mind as well. How in the world am I supposed to call this customer without a GoToMeeting link?
I have it.
Huh?
I don't have it.
So
it doesn't auto-populate a video conference link. It says in black print, here's your link, and there's nothing there.
right.
So I did that too, but I actually used that as an opportunity. So I took that calendar invite, which is 15 minutes. I don't want 15 minutes, I want 30. I extend it to 30. I add the my own GoToMeeting, and then I put in a note, hey, extending meeting time, adding conference link, please let me know. And that's my first reach out to the customer, saying, hey, I'm James, talk to me. And hopefully that they say, hey, cool, great, I accept this, the updated one, with my GoToMeeting and with the extended time with my personal note. If they do, then I take that as my touch. You accepted this for next Tuesday. You said yes after I amended it. We've had two-way communication. That's now.
Okay, let's not talk about that yet.
Okay.
Let's talk about this chili piper thing.
Right.
That's the first decision we got to make. When we get a chili piper op, there's two ways to go about it. One, Charles Dameron is relying on, or will be relying on, the GoToMeeting link that shows up in chili piper because he's going to link the two. Jerry and James are saying they don't do that. Jerry and James reaches out to the prospect and says, hey, I got your information. They set an appointment for Thursday at 2 o'clock. I'm going to extend it to 30 minutes, and here's a GoToMeeting.
Yeah.
First decision, which way are we going to go?
So I personally like that because I hate the automated messages that come out with the chili
The
piper.
automated messages don't stop because it's still a chili pepper meeting. So just be aware that they will still be, hey, Bob, you're having.
Even if even if you cancel the meeting and create your own.
Oh, no, if you cancel it, then that probably
That's what I
stops.
would want. I'd want your chili piper completely canceled.
Canceled it, don't edit
I want
the chili
no
pepper.
chili, if we go the route of you do it on your own, you create we'll call it the Jerry plan, God save us all. We'll call it the Jerry plan. If it's the Jerry plan, you're canceling everything chili piper.
Yeah.
And you're setting it
Okay.
up on your own.
I think just too is the chili pepper, the rate at which they actually show up is very slim. So having a conversation before, it kind of verifies, hey,
Yeah.
this is me, I'm a real person, let's talk.
Yeah,
Gosh,
and it
more
gives you
personal.
something to work off of too.
I mean, because going to chili pepper, like, it's on my calendar, and it's like a 40% chance to actually show up.
Okay.
But I've had, if I, like, deleted, I guess I didn't cancel the meeting, but if I deleted the meeting off my calendar, I still get the start up for my GoToMeeting to start at that time. So if we, like, if you officially cancel, you have to officially cancel the meeting, and it sends them a cancellation notice, and then send a follow-up calendar invite, wouldn't that be kind of confusing?
Yeah, that would be my one concern about a cancellation. That would
You
give.
just delete it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're looking at it like, oh,
He's
why
saying
don't
we wouldn't use chili pepper at all.
I don't, well.
No,
you
we have
chili
to.
piper.
He's saying we
But
can't.
I
Cancel
would
the
say-
chili and then immediately
I
add.
would only cancel the chili piper if they did not agree to my reach out. In other words,
But you're saying for the new calendar invite with a new GoToMeeting.
That's right.
Not the chili piper.
that's right.
Don't edit the chili piper.
Don't edit
Kill
the
it and
chili
redo it.
If the customer accepts your separate GoToMeeting, then you cancel the chili piper.
I just feel like it.
So now they have two invites to accept?
I agree.
Yeah, I think sending a cancellation
Yeah.
would make them think cancel the meeting. That's my only fear.
It's like
I sent an email.
But honestly,
I get
to
that
Dave's
email
point,
saying,
if
hey,
it-
you get this invite.
It's the worst thing that comes out of using the edited chili piper is that they keep getting reminders.
I'm okay with that.
Okay,
I don't-
maybe
I don't
that's some
think
sort of
cancel
setting
chili
or editing that we can
I don't
change
even cancel chili
within.
pepper. Let's leave it.
Yeah, I don't want to cancel the chili piper.
I just let it run.
Yeah.
I want to keep the chili piper on.
It's not a meeting or anything, it's just on the calendar. It might just show.
And there is no GoToMeeting because you're not linked into the GoToMeeting.
Yeah.
So we have to unlink
We
our
would
GoToMeeting?
unlink the chili piper to
How do
GoToMeeting.
you
It doesn't, and
We'll figure it out.
while we're on the subject, shouldn't that all be Zoom now?
No.
How long does GoToMeeting, do we still have?
That's a different I have no idea. Let's
Okay.
GoToMeeting.
Okay, I just want to make sure that what I'm putting here is actually gonna work.
For now, let's keep going.
Okay.
I mean, even if it is linked, it's still fine, you're just gonna edit that GoToMeeting.
Yeah,
So basically, I take the meeting,
I wouldn't even,
I open the calendar invite, and then I resend it back with an update.
Yeah.
Saying, hey, got your information. Are we still
Yeah,
good?
and
So
once
everybody-
once you talk to them on the phone or email, you can tell them what's gonna happen.
yeah. The two
Yeah,
edits I
talk
make,
15 minutes, we'll change it to 30.
yeah,
You'll get a calendar update, just disregard it.
Just think we should throw it on.
and then I tell them, I get in the body, hey, please let me know if this time works, so I can, confirm the email. If they don't, then that's when the email, hey, haven't seen you confirm, or can you confirm, whatever.
Okay.
But it gives me some, that to me just takes some of that, of being able to take that magical chili piper that happened and use it as a tool to actually communicate through to my client.
I'm good with that because I sent an email.
Everybody good? Cleve,
So mine as well.
Cleve, what's your opinion?
Well, I guess, like, I just got one this morning. So, and then I got the created op 7 minutes later. I guess for me, if I get the chili pepper, whatever it's called, I would just call this Janine McKinney, say, hey, I just got a meeting, I just want to confirm this is the right, this is a good time for you. or can you talk now? And then she said, yeah, no, the 16th, February 16th at 11:30 works for me. Then I just keep the chili pepper. I don't know why I would recreate GoToMeeting. I mean, it's already there, so it's already on her calendar. So I don't want to confuse her. I'll just, hey, okay, keep the meeting, and I'll see you on the 16th.
Right.
Okay.
And I've spoken to Jermaine about this. I asked, like, is there a way to make it 30 minutes instead of 15? 15 minutes, I mean, that's, to me, doesn't make sense. I mean, we're still talking about the weather and stuff by like minute 7 if you're like building a report. And he said, yeah, there's some things they can change, some things they can't. And I just know for like agility users, I want us to be real careful about it. You know, QAD might be different. So I think my point is, I think if you speak to Jermaine whenever you get a minute, just ask him like, hey, what can we change and what can we not? How can we tweak what a chili piper looks like for our team?
We can
You
change
may
that.
have a few changes.
We have another training that John Little is gonna help us do that's only chili piper. I mean, you can do other stuff.
change like the
You can change all that.
available time increments.
So can we all agree to edit the existing chili piper events?
That's fine. So here's what I'll say. Nick, go ahead. You had a comment. You've been waiting patiently.
No, it's fine. It's the way that ADR sets it up. So however they set it up, how their conversation goes, is the way it's going to be set up. So they don't necessarily have to send GoToMeeting. It's not a chili pepper software. It's literally them doing it. So like for instance, like today, this lady, and why Charles didn't get a GoToMeeting is because in the heading, you just asked them to call them directly. So however they're doing it, they don't have a cadence to do it the exact same way every time. So they either are going to let you know to call the client, or they're going to put the GoToMeeting in. And once that's done, that's why.
Here's what I'll say. So let's do this, okay? Let's throw this out there. My opinion and my cadence, and tell me if you disagree. Again, it's not dictatorship. If you get an op, a chili piper, okay, and the op comes 7 minutes later, let's call it that 7 minutes, okay? You should email that person the same day you get the op, unless you get the op at like 6:30 at night, okay? Back in the day at Avalera, I think this was the worst decision we ever made. Every lead came to PSN, you had 15 minutes to respond to the lead or it went to somebody else. Okay, I don't know about you guys, but I have a life outside of Avalera, believe it or not. I mean, I do things that have nothing to do with Avalera outside of these walls. If you get an op inside of normal business hours, you need to reply to that op the day you get it, okay? Within hours of you getting it. And you need to reach out to the prospect, introduce yourself, and confirm the meeting time in Chili Piper. Can everybody agree to do that?
Yeah.
Is everyone in agreement to do that?
Yeah. Is that reach out? So my version
We're
of
not
that.
there yet. I know what you're gonna ask. We're not there yet. Is that two-way communication? I don't know yet.
Well, no, I'm saying, so what I do to do that, I then take that same chili piper, make it 30 instead of 15, add a note and put in my GoToMeeting, and then send that as an update to the customer.
That's fine.
That's my very first touch.
I don't care how you do it. I need that note in Salesforce.
Okay.
So you have to add that at the top, like you sent an email.
I need that note in Salesforce, because that's the next part. So,
that gets hard, like how do you log calendar stuff? 'Cause I don't know if there's a way to do
I
it.
think you need to send a separate email.
How, you have to copy and
I think
paste.
you need,
You can manually do it.
You can do it manually.
Copy the body
I
and
don't
paste
care how it
it.
goes in there, but I need it to be in Salesforce, okay? Every single time you reach out to a customer, it's gotta go to Salesforce. No ifs, no ands, that is dictatorship.
So log a call.
I'm gonna show you.
No,
I'm
I'm saying
gonna
that's
tell
what
you.
I'm saying,
I'm gonna show
log
you.
in a call.
Yeah, okay? So, when you get an MQL, okay, I don't care if the Chili Piper is this afternoon or in 2019. I don't care. You need to reach out to the customer via email or phone call. I don't care. I would do both. Let's do both. Okay? There's an argument to not do both, because if the customer says, don't call me until next week, and I call you now, then I'm walking you into a hornet's nest.
Yeah, I feel like I'd be pissed. Like if I just got the phone call like an hour ago, I'm like, yeah.
So let's do it.
Particularly
I'm with you.
if the call itself is like the next morning. I mean, I think at that point you just
I
take
think
your
if you
chance.
just wait like till the next, but just only one day, and if they don't accept it, then
I agree. All right, so here's our cadence, okay? Email them the day you get the note. The day you get the op, email them, okay? Does everyone know how to use quick parts or signatures or something in their email?
Yep.
Right.
Okay. If someone doesn't know, will they please help those that don't know? Go ahead, Cleet.
What was it? Do we know how to use what?
So there's an option, you can save templates into Outlook called quick parts. So if you want to email somebody, you open up an email, you click on Quick Parts, and your template is already there.
Click insert.
Yeah, click insert. So Cleet, after this call, get with Linda so she can show you how to do that.
Want to do it now?
Yes, we'll do it now. Let me show you. It's easy. I tried to do it earlier, and
again, Clete, the point of this is that there's like a same email that you send out over and over and over again, you just have it saved.
but this would be a chili
Oh,
file. In my opinion, that's what.
I have an email saved that I do that. I just don't know like Quick Parts. I've never heard of
It
that, but I
doesn't
have an
matter.
email template.
That's fine. It doesn't have to go into Quick Part. I don't care where you put it. If I were you, I would have a template that says, my name is Chris, I work for Avalera, you set an appointment on this date at this time, please confirm. That way, here's what I don't want us to do. Man, Chris, I don't have time to reach out to these NQLs. I've been on calls all day, and I just don't have time to reach out. Okay? That's going to make somebody's head spin, and they're going to spit out pea soup. Okay? If you don't have time to go do an email to introduce yourself the day you get the op, we got bigger problems. Is everybody cool with that? So, without exception, unless you're on PTO, the day you get an op, you should reply to that op via email and log it in Salesforce. Is everyone okay with that policy?
Yep.
A lot of heads nodding. Okay.
And where do you want us to log it in?
We're going there next. When you get an op, okay, you're going to get an opportunity. Well, I went to the wrong one. Okay, now tell me today, because I haven't done it, do you still get an email from Salesforce that says, here's an op and here's a task?
Yes.
Yeah.
I get them.
Does it say task?
Somebody forward me an email that they got so I can see it. Somebody forward it to me so I can put it on the screen.
James, are you doing it?
It's been a while.
And again, I'm going to show you the way I used to do it. It's open for debate. Okay? But this is what I used to do.
Comes from Avalera support.
Okay, perfect. This is exactly what I used to get. Okay, good. That's good. Okay, so this is the email that you get when you get a new op, right?
Yep.
Here's all the fun, cool stuff. And if I click on this link, I'm hoping it's going to take me to the op. It's going to take me to the task. Okay, I'm good with that. Okay, so you click on the link, and this is, you don't have to send me anymore. I got it. Okay, so right here is the op. So the first thing you should do is take the op, hover over the account, come down to account owner, click change, put in your name, and click the first 4 buttons. Remember, we've done this before.
John, we don't do that. What law?
Whose team is it?
I've never done that.
Maybe he just never did it.
Here's why you check all the boxes.
Because everything becomes.
Every op, every task, everything related to that account now goes to your name.
I didn't know if that changed.
So,
It changed over. Okay.
will that move closed off opportunities into your name?
It doesn't.
Oh. It does, yes. It
Yeah.
moves every op into your name.
It should.
That's fine.
If it's starting your name.
Wasn't it already in the account?
That's with like.
I do it with everything I want to do. It doesn't do it. I've done it with all my accounts and it
It doesn't do anything?
So we need to own the account as well as the opportunity.
Yep.
Okay.
I want your name on the account. I want you to own the whole thing.
So one thing, so what it does do that's good is it documents a note under everything that says, so if it doesn't actually move everything, it still tells Linda it has moved all 4 of those things.
To your,
I would like for you to open up the account, put your name in it, and click the top 4 boxes, please.
Yep.
That's what I would like. Okay?
Yep.
Now, if you can give me a really good reason why we shouldn't do it, I'm all ears.
Sometimes it's just not available. Sometimes there's only the 2.
That's fine. If you're changing the name of the opportunity, it's only 2.
Yeah.
If you're changing the name of the account,
Then it's software.
If you change the name to the account, the opportunity is automatically going to change.
Sure.
Follow? The opportunity is already in your name because it just got created.
Yep.
Okay? Not confusing things.
So
Here's what I don't want. I don't want James Haynes to be one of 5 people associated to this account. One of 5 PSNs. Well, James had an op, Linda had an op, Chris had an op, Dave had an op, and the account name is in Thomas Selway. So I don't even know who Thomas Selway is. Wouldn't know him if he came up and slapped me in the face. I would prefer uniformity on this thing, okay? And again, can we change it later on? Absolutely. Let's get a baseline. When you get an op, please go to the account, put it in your name, and click the top 4 boxes.
So let's just say you have an account has 3 ops, one from 14, one from 16, and one now for 18. The 18 op was mine, the 16 op was Johnny Giddens, and the 14 op was Corey Kraft.
Mm-hmm.
If you change this, will all 3 of those ops
I
now
don't
show
think
as
so.
my name?
No.
it just lets,
Just anything that happens associated with those ops, you are now alerted to.
yeah.
That's right.
as
Every
opposed to-
open
okay.
task, let's say that there was another opportunity in here that had an open task on it. It was closed lost, there was another task. If you don't go in and change the account name to yourself and reassign it, you'll never see it.
Okay.
Okay?
I'll go back and do this for all mine.
You don't have, look, good point. Please don't do that. You don't need to go back to every single opportunity except for your Jerry, and he's only got 11. It'll take him all of about 6 minutes to do it. Same for you.
Yeah.
Dave, you've got like 60 things in your pipeline. Please don't take an hour and go back and change account names to your name, please. That's just ridiculous. This whole thing is from today moving forward. Clear?
Cool.
Everybody got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So, step 1, please put the account in your name. Now that that's done, we're back in the op. Cleat. You asked, where do you put the note? Cleat, do you have link point in your email? Do you have it set up to where you can record an email automatically if you're doing anything?
Record it automatically in Salesforce?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Do you want that?
Well, yeah, if it makes my life easier, heck yeah.
Okay. Action item. Linda, write this down. We need to get Cleat link point.
I can send them stuff right now.
Perfect. Jerry's going to send you an email, Cleat, to set up link point. So here's what that means, and you got to set up a secondary call with Cleat to show him how to record it in Salesforce, please. So what this means, Cleat, is this. When you send an email, you can automatically link that email to the opportunity without any further action on your part. It just happens automatically out of Outlook.
Sweet.
So
You
what
have
will
to
happen
select
is
the opportunity, though. You have to select the
Yep.
opportunity, though.
someone offline is going to show Cleat what buttons to click. It'll take all of 35 seconds to show him how to do that. Okay?
Yep.
So Cleat, think about the idea, and this is for the group. I got an op, okay? I changed the account. Here's the opportunity. I'm going to send an email that introduces myself and confirms the appointment. If I'm using link point, no further actions necessary because the email is automatically going to record into Salesforce under the op and log a task. Right? So this is an opportunity for Nick, okay? He's got 3 completed tasks. What I don't see in here is an email to the customer introducing myself. And that's what I would expect to see after this training. What I would expect to see now is that Nick, let's just look at this. And I'm not going to beat you up. I'm going to use an example.
Sure.
You've got 3 open activities right now on this one op.
Yeah.
This makes my head spin. I'm going to spit out pieces.
Yeah.
There's no reason you should have 3 open tasks for one customer. For one product.
I
Oh,
think
see
it
that?
comes from HR.
All 3 of them.
That's the third one.
The middle one there,
Yep.
if you click on edit on that, how do you change that to,
Yeah, good question.
Okay.
'Cause you
good
can't
question.
complete those. You can't complete them.
Okay.
You can't get rid of it.
Okay, perfect. I did not know this. So, that's the one that'll stay.
So
Does
from,
it always
What
work?
type of task was that?
the chili piper?
It's
And
the
it
chili
comes over
piper
at an
test.
event, and the event
Somebody
can't.
make a note to get in touch with Kim.
You can just
and make sure she doesn't-
close on them, that's not eligible. You can just hit close on them.
You can hit delete,
No.
but you can't hit
It-
close. I don't want
You
you to hit
can
delete.
hit delete, right, but that's it. You could only hit
I don't
delete.
want it. Action item.
Yeah.
Get with Kim Gordon to make sure that she understands that that's editable.
so
Introduction.
this client, I reached out to Mark, and he accepted my email today, or my invite again, so it's at 4. So do you want me to capture this?
This should
I
be
mean, do you want me to,
So,
like, just
if,
so that,
if you've got so a couple things. This is a perfect example.
yeah.
I'm not gonna beat you up because you're wearing a shirt that's too small. I'm gonna beat you up because we're doing it.
But you're saying the pants are too big?
Listen,
Yeah,
you've done what? What have you've emailed the customer
yeah,
and he said yes.
Yeah.
Is that two-way communication?
yeah,
I think it is,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
What day did he confirm it for?
Today,
He confirmed a call for today.
yeah, it was.
At what time?
Today, and I confirmed it today.
So you're talking to him today at 4 o'clock?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
so this is exactly what Salesforce should look like. Step 1, I've had two-way communication. So this needs to move from marketing qualified to sales qualification.
Okay.
Step 1. Why is that important?
We've had two-way communication.
Right? Why is it important for it to move from NQL to SQL?
Shows movement in your pipeline.
That's how SDRs get paid. And thank you, Charles Damron, for adding value. It shows movement in your pipeline. You know what else will make someone's head spin and spit out pea soup? No movement in the pipeline. Okay, crystal clear. Step 1, email the customer, assign it to link point. That immediately goes to the I see you.
Yep.
Every other open task should be closed out. This closed, and all I'm doing is pressing the hyperlink that says CLS.
And then,
Save.
yeah, and it says save and new right there, so if you edit it, close it, hit save and new, it's gonna bring it right over so you can
I
make
don't want
that.
it edited.
I'm saying, when you complete it, when you close that task out, instead of hitting save, if you hit save and new, it automatically opens up for you to do your next task, but you won't see tasks in there, right?
Perfect. I do.
It does, but then it doesn't show that you actually,
It does, so,
from
So
a
do you
task
get an edit?
perspective,
Close.
do anything.
Save a new event or save a new
Save a
task.
new task.
Okay? So save a new task.
Tell me right there. to
So
start it.
here's what I'm going to say now. When did you say you were going to talk to him? Today?
Today at 4. 30 minutes.
Today's date? Save. Email communication that you had with a customer agreeing to the meeting should be down here in activity history.
Yep.
So you should log a call. If you're not using link point, if you're just going to enter this manually, where it says call, email. And I would copy and paste everything you just did and put it right here.
We just gotta change it over to the right term.
Type, call versus email, do we need to note that as
Yep.
well? Okay.
100%. That needs to be email. This needs to be 100% accurate. This does not need to be kind of good and kind of okay. This needs to be 100%. That's why we're in this room doing this training right now today. Is everybody with me?
Let me add one more. Let me add one more value there. You see where it says contact over there to the right? It'd be so cool if you actually had the person's name you talked to.
Wouldn't it be interesting to do that?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Let's make this a little bit simpler for you. See all the stuff on the top section? Fill out as much as you can. Yep.
Does everybody, aside from one or two, does everybody use a link point?
Everybody uses link point.
Okay.
You
Does
don't?
everybody know about contact roles on the opportunity field? So
Yes.
if you're ever trying to link point, and when you hit record in Salesforce, if sometimes the op doesn't pop up, it's just like that person's name is a lead.
That's
So
correct.
can you go back to the opportunity, Chris?
Sorry.
Actually, click on the account name. Click there. Click where it says contact, go up to the top. All the way to, so does this only have one contact on it? Okay, so go back to your op. This won't be a good example, but I'll tell you anyway. So if you are like working a second or third op, and let's say you're emailing the CFO, but that CFO may not be attached to that op. So if the account has like 7 contacts on it, that op may only have 1 person. So it's that contact roles. Sorry, let's do it from the top. Contact roles. Yep. Okay, so in this circumstance, there could be like 4 people in the op. If you're emailing the one that one says none next to it, you need to put something in none. If you do that drop down, you can call them an influencer, you can call them decision maker, whatever. But that is then what ties that email address to the op. So then if you were to go back to the recording for Salesforce, then that person would now appear. So one thing to do is when you open these ops, you're going to go into the contact roles, and whoever it is that you're actually communicating with, make sure they're linked to that specific account or that specific opportunity. So when you're using link point, they actually pop up and it will link it directly back to the op, because if they're not, it'll just put it on like their lead or
That's important.
or whatever.
Does everybody understand that, what
It
you just said?
Yes.
Cleet, you
That's
got
very
that?
true.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, so basically the point is when you have an op, go to the contact roles and make sure that everybody that you want to be talking to has some sort of role and is somehow does it. Actually, the easiest thing is just open it up and just click like influencer for all of them, so that they then, no matter who you email within that op, they're now tied back to it.
Perfect. That's good. Everybody should be doing that. Okay.
So are we supposed to be putting in notes under contact log or the log, or can we create tasks?
What I want to
Create tasks. So here's what I want you to put. So a task is different than a note.
That's correct.
Okay? Look, let's not talk about when Jesus takes the wheel, okay? Tasks are different than notes. A task means that this is an action item that you have for this customer moving forward. Let's take Nick's example. Nick talked to the guy, emailed the guy, he confirmed a call for 2 o'clock. So in open activities, the only thing I should see is what's next up for this customer, which in Nick's case today, that's a call with the client at 4 o'clock. If Nick's customer did not confirm, let's say that the call is set for February 27th, and he didn't confirm. Nick should send an email confirming the appointment, okay? Tomorrow, he should call him. So here's what it should say. New task, tomorrow, call. Okay. Now what I can see in here is Nick's got an opportunity. I can see an email that he emailed the day he got it, because that's going to show up down here in activity history, right? Because I could link point, all that fun stuff. Now I've got an open task that says you're going to call the client tomorrow to confirm. With me? That's what an open task should be. So it's not a note. This is not had a call with the customer in 15 states, selling SaaS software, blah, 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 blah. These are not recap notes. The task section shows what are you doing to move this deal through the pipeline.
So when you go in, okay, so now let's say it's later today after Nick had his call. He goes in to edit that one right there.
We're not going to edit it.
So like
he had the call. I'll show you. He had the call, so it's 5 o'clock. The call happened. Okay? Close. Did I complete this task? 100%.
You don't put the notes in the call in there?
Nope. Notes are going to go right here. See right here where it says notes? This is new, by the way. This is not where I put notes, but this is where people want to put them. So this is where we're going to put them. Right here where it says notes.
Is this upper management? Who's?
Yeah. This is where Patty wants to see notes.
So can I say something about that?
You can.
So the only thing with putting the notes there is, if I'm having multiple conversations with this person, I have to go in there and put like Wednesday, this date, this time, I spoke with him, this happened. If I'm just logging the task, it already does all that.
Yeah.
Here's the reason though. If I open an op, let's put a note in here.
So we're going to in one place.
And it's
You
just,
got it.
yeah, you're going to have to start at 1:22.
Hey, and Chris, while you're typing that, let me tell you what I do. I actually, under the note of where I made the phone call, I put the note in, I copy it, and then I put it over here in the notes section as well. So, I mean it's a right click copy.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Because when you go down to the activities field, Chris, the benefit of the activities field is you get a chronological accounting of what happened. So having the notes of just, even if it's just like left voicemail or Mary said call back in March or whatever.
That's not a note. I don't think that's a note. That's a task that you completed. You left a voicemail for Mary.
It's the result of that phone call.
Or like stuff that they
That's a note.
go live.
Right. That's a note. There's a big difference between tasks and notes. What I don't want you to do, and what I don't think you should do, again, this is up for debate. This is not a dictatorship. You shouldn't have in here 1:22, 7:55 a.m. left to voicemail. That's what the completed task is for. There's a completed task down in activity history that says, I had a completed call with this customer on the 23rd. And I left a voicemail.
And that completed task is the logging of the call.
Correct.
Those two are one and the same. That's different than a task you set up as the next step.
That's right.
But my point was, every time you log a call, it should happen for emails because you're logging them over using link point. But when you do have a call, put left voicemail, put told to
That's right.
Call back next month, just so that we can see as somebody goes back, you have like a.
This should be notes. This should be notes that are clearly part of the conversation.
Yeah.
That way, if I'm going to Patty and asking for a discount, or I need free months, or I need net something, Patty can open the op and by scrolling one time from the top to the bottom, see every single note that took place that's relevant to the call. The other option for her, or for anybody for that matter, is to go down here and look at all of these different tasks and try to decide which of these has a note in it. This is what I see. I see call, and that's it. I don't know if there's any notes in there or not.
I just log mine there.
You put it in the subject?
I just say called, and this happened, and save. So when you just scroll there, you can, I mean, I don't mind, I'll put them up top.
I use the notes just like a general of what's going on, like.
That's it. It should be a general thing about what's going
other
on.
projects, the head of Avalara, I reach out February 1st.
That's perfectly fine.
I'll just put them in both places.
Is there a place we can just do everything in one place?
No,
That's the point of this.
there's not, man.
But that note section is a different note section than notes.
The notes and attachments.
That's
You
right.
can't do notes and attachments there.
That's right.
It has to go there.
But the SDs, when they put their notes on there, they put it on their notes and attach.
So, this is what's up for debate.
Not anymore.
Listen, this is what's up for debate. This is not the way I used to do it. The way I used to do it was under notes and attachments. I would go to notes and attachments and I would say, new note, and I would say, 1:22 discovery call.
Yeah.
Met with customer,
So,
blah, 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 blah.
I do, it makes it easier.
And now I'm saving it. And now I can scroll down and somebody can really easily see my notes from every call. This was my discovery call notes.
But they have to click to get to it.
I don't really care if Patty has to click again. That shouldn't be a deciding factor in where we are. The question is, where do we want to put notes? Our options are up here in the top, which is where people are leaning towards. Down here, not people meaning the people that we talk to from a holistic standpoint to try to get all on the same page. Do you come down and put it in notes and attachments, or do we put it in the task, the completed task?
well, it sounds like we're trying to split notes and tasks.
I like.
So,
Look at pipeline.
I mean, I like this.
John, what's your take?
So I do the same thing that Jerry does, because I'm gonna work with you guys on the views that you have of your pipeline. But you can pull the notes field in, so it can just give a very high level recap of where you're at or tangible next steps that you've established. But I always had that, and I always had very detailed notes if possible in the notes section.
What's
Like,
the
would
first
you-
thing?
The first thing is the top part. The notes and attachment part is separate.
That note.
So
Like that note right there, I'd be like, Chris Rossini, decision maker, told me to follow up with him on February 22nd.
Because you
And
can.
then I would have an open activity that matched that
Yep.
thing. Now, if he said, decision maker told me to follow up in April 20th, I'm gonna go and say, I'm gonna put 2 open activities in that time frame to do some type of drip market. Something from the brand folder, some type of article, something along those lines, where what I would consider value-added content, in front of that customer.
And so you would just update that, so like you'd have the notes for the follow-up in February, then you would delete that when you have the call and put the most recent
Yeah, and then
information?
be like,
So I know those on the phone can't see it, but I'll have Jerry do a snippet so you can see it. Jerry has it set up in the notes tab, and when he looks at
his view.
his view of opportunities, like, look how nice this is.
Yeah.
It's got the date, the stage, the ops, and the notes. It's all right there in one view.
We need to do that.
It needs to go in the notes section.
My notes are always just.
And that's pulling from this notes section?
Yeah.
And my notes
The only note section.
the most recent, what's going on with the
So that's what we're
Notes and
gonna do. So this is what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
We're gonna take the John Litwa approach, okay? So,
Well,
go ahead, Cleet.
That's one line.
well, I guess John just outlined it, so why wouldn't we just use the task? You kill two birds with one stone, right? You
The
put your
problem
task-
with the, yep,
One line of what's going on.
yep. The problem with the task is other people don't have easy access to view it. They've got to go down to the activity history and count and click on each of those links to find the right one.
Well, there should
They gotta
only be
click
one task.
But then you log like. all
Oh,
the
he's
tasks
logging on his
together,
task under one, yeah.
So there's
There's
more
only-
than one task.
There's
So wait a second, let's back up a second. So if I have a call today, like let's look at Nick's opportunity here, right? He had, the only thing that's in open activity as a task is his next call, which is today. Every other task that he's had has been completed and is down here. What we don't want to do, and a lot of people that have been at Avalara for a while do this, is they have one task and they keep updating the same task.
Yeah.
And they never complete it. It's one task with every single note that you've ever had on it, and instead of completing the task, you're just changing the date to next Wednesday with your note on it.
Yeah.
That shows, Cleet, that you're not completing any tasks.
Looks like,
Mm.
It looks like you're not doing anything.
yeah.
The op is not one task, start to finish.
Hold on,
The op
let him
is
respond.
multiple tasks completed throughout the process from start to finish.
Right.
And it just makes you look busier. I mean, for lack of a better way to put it, it looks like, I mean, it just looks better. The optics are better.
That's just a game.
Not a game. This is,
It's a game. Freak. Here's the
Yeah,
thing.
but-
All you got to do is when you create the task, as soon as you update it, you copy your notes and everything else, your activity, you close it out, you close it and open a new one, paste it, and you put the new date that you need to follow up on. I mean, I get it. I've been doing this forever, so I know I got to change, but it's like
that part we gotta change, man.
I don't know why we're doing it in 2 or 3 different places when you just do one place.
Yep. That part's gonna have to change though, man. I'm sorry. That part is gonna be like a little bit of a dictatorship. That part we gotta change.
If he could do it that way, you just said, which is close out the
He
call
can.
and his notes can still go in one place.
That's right. You can still put your notes in one place.
So just to clarify with that note field, are you always updating that to just be the most
Yeah.
recent
Yeah.
note, right?
Yes.
That's kind of how
And
I
that's,
thought
I'm
of
fine
it.
with that. I'm fine
As
with that.
long as you have the note history.
I'm fine with
and
that.
Notes and attachments.
So this is what I would say.
So mine, like, I have my notes, it has like what's going on right now.
Yep.
So if Chris wants to see what's going on in Dale, he goes, my notes, he knows exactly what's going on. And then under the activities, you can go in and see a detailed of every time I've called, every email I've sent, what the email exactly said, and it's all detailed there.
And you just use the other one for your opportunities view, basically.
Right,
Yep.
just basically a quick
So you get that.
one line.
And that's what we need.
What's going on.
What someone wants to be able to do is log into your opportunity and be able to look at, in a clear view, what you're doing.
And they can't do that right now.
And nobody can do that today. Guys, we've been talking for 46 minutes, wrap your head around this, for 46 minutes, and we have not even come close to covering what I wanted to cover. That's fine, we're gonna have another one of these. But we were joking before this meeting about why we need to have it. Anybody have any, is that question relevant anymore? I don't think so. So, Cleet, the one task that you keep changing, though I agree that it's efficient, that part's gotta change.
So
I'm
can I
sorry,
just
man, but that part's gotta change.
Can I
Go
just
ahead.
put everything in notes?
Yes, you can.
But then log, if it was a call or an email.
You will, in addition to logging the task. In addition to completing the task, put all your notes in the notes field.
No, okay, so I still have to do, you're saying I have to do 2 things instead of just putting
Still have
everything in
to
notes.
complete that. What I don't want you to do anymore, Cleet, is take this open activity. Let's say Nick had the call.
No, I
I don't
understand
want you to
that
go.
part.
Okay.
I understand that part. I guess what I'm saying is, okay, I get rid of tasks altogether. And I just
No.
update the notes section.
But you still have to complete a task.
Why?
Because that's the only way that people can pull a report to see what you're doing in the deal. Managing tasks and looking at tasks completed is a big metric, and it's been a big metric for a very long time. That's why on PVD Sales Dashboard, it's monthly completed tasks. You got to do both. You got to complete the task, set a new task, and put your notes in the notes section. Just follow these simple 35 steps for every opportunity.
I mean, from a to-do list, and it actually works very well.
Not that hard.
Honestly.
Not that bad.
It's a lot if you've never done it before.
Yeah.
Let's give Cleet a little bit of a pass on this.
Yeah.
Cleet's been doing it the same way ever since he's been here. And now we're going to ask him to change that process. Shit, that ain't easy to do, guys. But we have to get more, and Cleet knows that Salesforce is not as strong a suit, and things have to get to change. They're not the most efficient way, but we got to have a baseline, man.
So logging calls and emails is where you show your activity.
Yes.
Tasks are where you show your next steps. And
Yes.
you complete them and start new ones as you
Yes.
do them. The notes sections is where you keep a
Yes.
concise synopsis of what's going on
Yes.
so that anybody from a management perspective can look at it and
Yes.
know what's up.
Correct. Or
Yeah.
if Cleet wins the lottery, okay, we used to say get hit by a bus, but let's not do that anymore. If Cleet wins the lottery and doesn't work at Avalara anymore, and we've got to take his pipeline and dish it out, how do we do that? Dave, how awesome has it been to go through the IQMS and the Sage 50 pipeline? That's a lot of fun, right? You're wasting 4 days going through a pipeline. You're wasting 4 days
It'll end up being
just trying to sort through a freaking pipeline. What are we doing? So think about Patty think about Greg Stivers, think about anyone that comes in and wants to look at the pipeline. Let me just look and see what Cleet's doing. What's Dave's pipeline look like? What's Joe's pipeline look like? I have no idea. And so now we start going into this rabbit hole. And let me tell you the one thing you don't want your boss to do is go down the rabbit hole in your pipeline, guys. Have you ever wanted that?
No.
I do not want my boss in my kitchen. Don't want it. But if she can, or he or she, whomever, can open up an opportunity and see very clear steps completed, this is what's next, and these are my notes, how often do you think they're going to do a deeper dive?
Won't come back for months.
Cleet, what do we always talk about, man? What do you want to stay off of?
Yeah, I understand. I just,
Don't want to be on the radar, man. And we have to do crap that we don't agree with and we don't like to stay off the freaking radar.
A documented, consistent, repeatable process.
Do you think I like being on hour-long calls to talk to these other managers about this process and we go down this rabbit hole, which takes 6 or 7 hours to talk about and we don't solve it? I mean, come on. Okay? That's why we need to be the group. Our pipeline is not good. People know that. Not just us. Jerry, how many ops in your pipeline? 13 ops in your pipeline. What? 13 ops. How long does it take you to call 13 ops?
An hour and a half.
An hour and a half. So if you've got 13 ops in your pipeline and you know that it takes you an hour and a half to do it, what else do you need to be doing absolutely laser perfect?
That's for.
Come on. And if it's not perfect, what I can't do to defend Jerry, say, man, he's busy as hell. Patty, golly, Jerry is just up against it all day long. Really, Chris? He's got 13 ops. I've had these conversations, guys, not for Jerry. I've had these conversations. Hey, it's so-and-so. What's Linda doing all day? Not specifically, I'm just looking at you. And I got to be able to answer that question. Because if I can't answer that question, now what happens? Now I'm not running the team appropriately. You don't know what the hell you're doing. Well, damn, what do I need you guys for? Follow? I'm keeping your butts off the radar. I promise that this is not micromanaging and this is not trying to break the system. I'm trying to keep your butt off the radar. Because if you are off the radar, guess who else is off the radar? Your boy right here. Okay? John's off the radar. Everybody's off the radar. Because John's going to have these conversations as well. Guess what John's responsibility is? How many rookies are on the team? Raise your hand if you're a rookie. Everybody seems to be raised except Jerry and Cleet. Charles, you're all rookies. Guess what his whole job security is based on? You guys. So not only do I have to answer for your pipeline, do you have to answer for your pipeline? Now we got poor John Litwell that's got to answer for the pipeline too. And if I get a phone call and John gets a phone call and Linda gets a phone call and all 3 stories are different, holy crap. Follow? Does everyone understand the concept of why we're having this meeting? Guys, I don't care how we do it. I don't care if you write down your notes on a freaking piece of paper and send it to me. I don't really give a crap. What I do care about is staying off the radar and make sure that we do it right.
As long as it's in Salesforce too.
Got to be in Salesforce, guys. It's got to be in Salesforce. I don't care what other a beautiful mind system you have set up. Charles, your notebook is like an alien language. But
yes, it is.
It works for you.
It's Canadian.
And I know that Cleet writes everything down in the book. I would pay a lot of money for Cleet's book because that's probably the way Cleet's done it forever. The fact that Cleet has to take his notes from a book and go type it out into a note 4 or 5 different places probably makes Cleet's blood pressure go through the freaking roof. With mine. I mean, why do I have to take time to do that? My notes are right here. The problem is, in this day and age, with everybody working in different places, got to have visibility on every single op in the pipeline. Because you've heard folks say this. It's not your op. Who does the op belong to? Avalara.
So you want us to log call, reach out to the customer, hover over the account, select all 4, then new task, tomorrow call, notes to opportunity.
That's right.
Is there any, then after that, okay.
If you don't get a hold of the customer, let's talk about marketing qualified. Okay? Here's the cadence for marketing qualified. I want a phone call and email every other day for 6 days. And simple math says that's 3 touches. It's 6, actually. But it's 3 phone calls and it's 3 emails over 6 days.
So this is like if there's a meeting set and they don't accept it.
Yep. This is no communication. This is MQL. Remember, anything in MQL means there's been no 2-way communication. There's only been 1-way communication. Okay? So you emailed the guy, he didn't reply. He didn't accept the meeting. In 2 days, the day after tomorrow, I'm going to call and email again. When I email, I'm going to forward the same email that I sent in the beginning. It's not a new email. Reply all, following up on the follow-up. The 3rd email, circling back on the circle back with the follow-up. I want that same message to go through. Okay? 6 times. Or 3 times over 6 days. Every other day. After that's been exhausted, you go to Zoom Info, Inside View, LinkedIn, I don't care, and try to find other contacts. And I want you to do the same thing again with the other contacts. Same concept. Dave, I know you like to automate things through HubSpot. That's wonderful, and I hope you have great success with it. I want a phone call and an email that's not automated during this time. Follow? Follow. I don't want this to be automated. I want you to go through the process of picking up the phone and calling them and sending them an email.
With the first call and email, like, so say Chili Piper comes in, that very first call and email, do you want like Chili Piper outreach on that task so you know that's when the cadence starts?
That's fine, sure. I used to call mine touches. First touch, second touch, third touch.
Do you want to talk about that?
What do you
Would you think that's appropriate?
What? The different touches?
No, like, if you guys get an op, you can go in and set that cadence up immediately, where you do an activity and do touch 1, touch 2, and it's just touch 1, save and new, touch 2, and the date, touch 3, and the date, and you can just do it all immediately.
Like a task?
Yeah, and then on your homepage in Salesforce, that's what would drive your day.
Wouldn't that also be doubling your activity? Because you're going to log the call as an activity, but then you're also going to close out the task that was the reminder to make that call.
You can make that one of them.
Yeah, you just do.
And this isn't about visibility. I wouldn't worry about, I want to complete a bunch of tasks so it looks like I'm doing my job.
Be efficient in your approach.
So you're saying do,
What John's recommending, if you can look at the screen, John's recommending that when you go set this up, you automatically go new task, today first touch. Day after tomorrow, second touch. Day after that, third touch. So I've already got my open tasks set up for all 3 of those. 3 open activities.
3, and then do email touch 1, email touch 2,
Yep.
email touch 3, or but then automatically. So yeah, you could just do the.
Just do the one touch
touch one,
because the emails automatically attach on there.
So if you, let's say that after the second or the third day, so you tried on day 1, you tried on day 3, and they responded,
And you just delete it.
you just delete it, okay?
Yep. And to John's point, I don't have any on mine, but when you have your home screen here in Salesforce, your tasks show up right here, my tasks.
And if they're outdated, they're red.
Yeah.
That's your day. I used to have all my tasks, I would right click like this, open in a new tab, and I would go across the top of my browser. And I would click every one of these windows, and when I were done, this is what I would.
If you come across one where maybe you overlooked it, it'll come up, touch 3, and you're like, oh, I already talked to them, you can just delete it out.
Delete it in your head. With me? We're running short on time. I got 2 minutes. Does anybody have any questions? I know this is going to be a work in progress, kids. I know. Okay? We're not going to get it right after one meeting. I'm going to put another hour on the calendar for later this week to keep going, because we have to get on the same page with Salesforce. It's being really hard for me to defend our pipeline in meetings with my boss because I'm trying to figure out 8 different ways.
Or you guys have 175 tasks that are
Past it.
past it. I mean, you just cannot have that.
Cannot happen.
I have a question.
Sure.
Marketing qualified, sales qualified.
I got a 4 o'clock, so go ahead.
Sorry. If, say, you call on day 1 or day 2, because they didn't respond to an email, and you get them on the phone, you have a quick conversation with them, and they are adamant that they did not want to call, or they don't have sales tax paying, like, and they really don't.
I want you to email me with the op.
Okay.
I want to know that.
Before we
Because
close
we
it,
had,
Yes. That's a training issue for an SDR.
email it,
Like-
wait for your instructions to close it or do something with it, okay?
We'll talk about it, because they're not going to happen that often.
right, well, yeah, there was, I mean, just, or
Now-
they're not a good,
They're
like.
not being a good fit.
Car dealership. You know that?
Let's talk about it on a one-off situation.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
If you get a car dealership, you need to tell me so we can go train the SDRs if that's not a good place for us to talk about.
Okay.
We're all learning,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
Charles, do you have any questions?
Don't even.
Nope,
treat it as-
I just wanted to know at what point you want us to close lost something, because I tend to keep them open for a long time, and, you know,
Talk
I know
about that in our
that.
next session.
That could vary from connector to connector too, right?
Yes, but we're going to get uniformed on that. Clete, do you have any questions?
Nope.
Okay. If you need help with quick parts or if you need help with link point, I would say reach out. Jerry, you want to own that?
Yeah.
Instead of Linda. Reach out to Jerry Koenig. Jerry's going to ping you now so you have his contact info.
I just don't, you know.
Okay, if you need help with it, just reach out to Jerry. Because
Yeah, perfect.
I don't know how to tell you how to do it. I don't know how to tell you how to do it. All right, thanks everybody. See you.
Thanks, Chris.
All right, bye.